Welcome to the demonstration of our full HCM suite. This video will walk you through the major components of HR, timekeeping, and payroll to help give you an idea of how you can use this solution to streamline and simplify your day-to-day business activities. Using the table of contents, you can quickly and easily jump ahead to any areas of interest as needed. What if you could create a personalized, easy-to-use experience for both your recruiters and candidates with a recruiting tool built right into your human capital management solution? Our recruiting tool will help you manage the entire recruiting process from creating and posting job requisitions to engaging with potential employees. This solution will allow you to review and track your applicants, schedule interviews, send out offer letters, and transition candidates seamlessly into your onboarding process. Let's get started with taking a look at your applicant's experience. Here we have an example of our career landing page. You can choose to post your career opportunities onto your company website, Indeed, or other various job boards, and the career landing page can be branded with your logo and personalized for your company. From this screen, candidates can drill down into the job requisition, which will tell the candidates more about that particular position and allow them to apply for that job. Now, today candidates are looking for an easy and convenient application process. So not only are they able to search for a job from their phone, but they can also complete the entire application from their mobile device as well. And you can determine what information you would like to collect from your candidates. So as you can see, we have a quick apply tool that requires minimal data to be collected from your candidates. Enabling this quick apply option reduces the risk of quality candidates dropping out of the application process due to time constraints. Now, you also have the option of designing a customized application to gather specific information needed to better evaluate your candidates. So let's take a look at our full online application. So your candidates will be directed to their applicant login page, which provides a great opportunity for you to promote your company and make a positive first impression with your applicants. In this case, I'm going to log in as an existing applicant so that we can take a look at an application that's already been completed. Now, as a new candidate completes their application, they will simply enter in their information using the application panel here on the left. And candidates have a couple of options for how to get their information into this online application. They can either upload their existing resume, or they can pull their resume from their LinkedIn profile. Both options will automatically populate their online application with their personal information, their work experience, their education, etc. And then they can continue reviewing and editing their application as needed. So as we take a look at this application, keep in mind that this is completely customizable, allowing you to determine what information you would like to collect from your candidates. You can mark certain fields as required, you can create custom fields to collect any additional information, and you can ask qualifying questions as part of the application process. These qualifying questionnaires can be set up to screen candidates based upon certain qualifications to help determine who might be a good fit for this position. And then once the candidate has completed their application, they have the opportunity to submit it to the hiring manager for review. Now, as candidates move through the evaluation process, they will be notified of any pending tasks that need their attention. This could be asking candidates to participate in additional screenings or authorizing a background check. They can receive these notifications through a variety of methods, including email or text notifications, and these pending actions will be displayed right here within their applicant portal. Now let's take a look at how you can manage the recruitment process. So to do this, we will need to log in as our hiring manager. Now, as a recruiter, we don't want to miss out on good talent. So we really need to jump on these quality applicants as soon as they apply. So here on the recruitment dashboard, we can get an insight into how many open job requisitions we are looking to fill. We can also see how many candidates have applied to each of these open positions. and we can check out where those candidates fall within the hiring process. Let's begin by taking a look at a job requisition. And in this case, let's check out our sales executive position. So this brings us to our recruitment workspace, which optimizes the way that recruiters will manage the entire recruitment process from creating job requisitions to evaluating candidates. So this is where you would set up a new job requisition. This workspace includes a quick actions menu for easier management. And when first creating a new job requisition, you can use the preview button to preview the job requisition prior to posting it to your job boards. Then at the bottom of the screen here, you can automatically post your open positions directly to your respective job boards with just a click of a button. So you have the choice of posting your jobs through eQuest Blast Network, which includes posting to top job boards, search engines, and career sites. You can also post your jobs through eQuest Premium, which requires you to have a separate relationship with these premium level job boards and allows you to easily post your jobs instantly to sites like Monster, Career Builder, LinkedIn, etc. When you are ready to post, you can choose your job board and then choose the posting dates before submitting this to be automatically posted to your respective job boards based upon the dates selected. Now, if you do not have a relationship with one of these major job boards, then you could also access our eQuest Express option, which allows you to post to these job boards a la carte. Now, back at the top of the screen, I can see how long this job has been open and how many candidates have applied for this position. And if I wanted to evaluate my candidates, I can click here on the Applications tab across the top of the screen. Now this brings me to a list of all of the candidates who applied to this particular position. And using the quick filters here on the left, I can filter down my list of candidates. So perhaps we are preparing for an upcoming interview and we need to evaluate the candidates moving into the interview stage of the hiring process. So using this hiring stages filter, we can get better visibility into those candidates that are currently in the interview phase. And now from this workspace, we can drill down into each candidate to review their resume, schedule interviews, and move them through the hiring process. So let's walk through the applicant tracking process. Here you can move the candidates through the defined hiring stages from the time the application was submitted all the way through the hiring process. And as candidates navigate through these different hiring stages, emails can be automatically sent out to those candidates to inform them of where they stand within the hiring process. Now, as we prepare for this upcoming interview, we may want to check out his resume. So as you can see, we have instant access to his resume right here from this screen. Now remember, all of the information captured from this candidate will flow into the applicant tracking system seamlessly to make for an easier evaluation. So here you can evaluate his experience, his credentials, etc. Once again, we have this Quick Actions menu, which provides quick access to common applicant tracking tasks. For example, you can schedule and manage interviews right from here. And then once an interview has been scheduled, you can easily email the candidate right from here as well. When communicating with your candidates, you have the option of either drafting an email on the fly, or you can select from one of our predetermined email templates. As you can see, we have created an email template that we can send to all of the candidates that move on to this phase of the interview process. Now, rather than sending an email, you can also choose to use our SMS two-way communication tool to have two-way conversations with your applicants via text message. And you can also include an interview invitation to the candidate within these communications as well. Now, when it comes to facilitating an interview, you have the option to add an evaluation questionnaire, which can provide preset screening questions for the hiring manager to use throughout the interview process. So let's fast forward a little bit and say that we are looking to hire this candidate. We have the ability to create offer letters that can be sent to the applicant, and upon acceptance, we can move forward with the hiring process. So when we are ready to hire the applicant, we can simply click on the Hire button, and this will bring us to the New Hire screen. Keep in mind that the system is taking all of his existing information and it is pulling it into his new hire employee record. And then based on the job that he is being hired into, his employee record will also be populated with the appropriate profiles and settings. This really streamlines the new hire process for the administrator. As part of this process, you can verify the employee's Social Security number. You can enter in their base compensation information and identify any additional information prior to hiring this employee. Now, once this new employee is hired, this will automatically kick off the onboarding process for our newly hired employee. This solution provides an onboarding experience that sets the stage for how you want your employees to feel about their new job, even before their first day. This solution delivers a personalized onboarding approach that will empower new hires to easily complete all of their important tasks and gives them everything they need to be successful from the time they sign their offer letter. Your new hires can access their employee self-service portal from any device, including their phone, and they will have the same user experience across the board. From the moment that your new hire signs their offer letter, they are given access to their onboarding portal. This personalized new hire dashboard can include a welcome message and dynamic content to keep the new hire engaged prior to their first day of work. It can be used to introduce company culture and set expectations for their first day of employment, as well as sharing other relevant resources such as links to their benefit packages, introduction to training resources, and company documents as well. To help with this transition, new hires can also receive a welcome message across the top of their dashboard. In this example, we have a topic catered for new employees who have just logged into the system for the first time. Within this panel, you can include a welcome message along with other relevant tools and documentation to help make this a smooth transition for your new hires. Now, as you bring on new employees, you will need to train them on how to use the system. For example, they will need to know how to navigate through their employee self-service portal, how to clock in and out, how to request time off, etc. You have the ability to provide training aids to your employees to help them with basic system navigation. So let's take a quick look at what can be made available to your employees. This site provides new hires with designated learning journeys based upon their role. In addition, they can search through the course catalog to access additional trainings as needed. You can also provide your employees with information on how to download the mobile app right from this dashboard. Then, on the employee's first day of work, their onboarding tasks can be made available through this checklist, which can be completed from the web portal or from the convenience of their phone. Keep in mind that this checklist is completely customizable to help streamline your onboarding process. Within each checklist, you can assign different tasks to different individuals. So for example, maybe IT should be involved with getting this new hire's workstation set up prior to their first day of work. As you can see, this checklist is displaying all of the new hire tasks that have been assigned to this employee to complete. You can include all of your new hire tasks within the checklist by creating electronic versions of each form. And keep in mind that because this employee has entered most of their personal information through their online application, these forms will already be populated with their data. First, you will notice that each item can be assigned a due date, which can trigger reminder notifications. In addition, you can define workflows to capture electronic signatures, and these completed forms will then be routed to the appropriate individuals within the organization. Now, in this example, your new hires are required to complete their new hire training courses. And with just a click of a button, they will be rerouted to the course itself within our learning management solution, where they can simply walk through the steps outlined in the course as you can see here. They can review course lectures, participate in discussions, and complete quizzes, associated with each course. As part of the onboarding process, you can ask your employees to watch videos, review documents, and even sign acknowledgement forms. As you can see here, we have embedded training materials directly into the checklist for employees to review during onboarding. You can also include a copy of your employee handbook for your new hires to review, and they can sign off on their electronic authorization form. This electronic onboarding process also includes your government forms like your I-9 and withholding forms. These forms are kept up to date within the product, and right from here, your employees can complete their I-9 forms. Now, there is logic built within the system which prevents employees from submitting a form if it's incomplete. Once the form has been completed fully, the employee can then submit this to their manager, who would be responsible for completing Section 2 of this form. Once this form is fully complete, there is also a built-in integration with E-Verify that will automate the process of verifying employment eligibility within the United States. Next, employees can complete their withholding forms. You will notice that this form has been populated with this employee's personal information, making it that much quicker and easier for them to complete the process. So they would simply need to determine their filing status and enter in their exemption information. And these withholding forms will then be submitted for approval, and the tax information will automatically be updated within payroll for the next pay period. Employees can also add their own direct deposits through the onboarding process. This form allows employees to enter in their direct deposit information, validate their routing number, and upload a copy of their voided check. This form will then be submitted for approval, and the new direct deposit will go into effect based upon the effective date entered here on this form. And finally, employees can also enroll in their benefits as part of the onboarding process. Now, as an employee is working through their onboarding checklist, the administrator can keep track of the status of the onboarding process to make sure that everything is completed timely and that the employee has smoothly transitioned into their new role. Our advanced scheduling tool will give you additional power and flexibility when it comes to meeting your more complex scheduling needs. Schedules can be generated based upon your organization's requirements to help control your labor costs and improve overall productivity. With this scheduling tool, you will have access to a rules engine that will ensure that you have eligible and qualified employees scheduled into each shift. You will also gain tools to help manage open shifts and empower your employees to better manage their own schedules. Let's begin by taking a look at our Scheduling Manager's dashboard. Our schedule dashboard is set up to provide additional insight into the information we need to help us better manage our schedules. Keep in mind that these tiles that we see here are completely configurable to provide us with the tools needed to be successful in our day-to-day activities. In this example, we have a tile that will flag any open shifts that need to be filled. We also have a couple of tiles here that show us how many hours are being scheduled across different departments or jobs within our organization. We can also see everyone who is scheduled to work today. And finally, we have a tile that is showing us all of the schedules that have been created for this company, allowing us quick access to review or make edits to an existing schedule. Now, perhaps our scheduling manager needs to set up a new schedule for an upcoming week. So to do this, we first need to open this report. From here, we can create a new schedule. Now, first, we need to identify the schedule that we will be building. In this case, we are looking at one master schedule across the entire company, but you can also set up separate schedules across different locations or departments as needed. Then we need to identify the start date for this schedule. Now, there are multiple ways that you can create schedules within the system. For static, non-fluctuating schedules, you can create a schedule template and auto-generate that schedule week over week. These schedules are still important, allowing you to track attendance and time away from work, but these can be automated to free up your time for other initiatives. We can also create schedules based upon volume. Volume-based scheduling will allow you to import volume and create your shifts based upon forecasted data. And the last way to create schedules is to begin with a workload template, which outlines the general shift requirements. Again, we are creating one schedule across the company. However, you could have a separate template for each location or department as well. Now that we have selected our template, our shifts have been identified and are color-coded for easy identification. So the next step is to generate the shifts for open coverage. This will move all of the open shifts from the template to the schedule so that we can schedule our employees into these open shifts. So with that, let's take a look at this schedule. Under the open shift panel here on the left, we can see all of the open shifts displayed. We have the opportunity to manually assign the shifts right from here. Or rather than manually assigning those shifts, we can also auto-assign these shifts to help save time as we build out our schedule. Now, this act of auto-assigning shifts does take a few minutes to populate out the schedule. During this process, it is looking at each employee's availability, what skills they have, and the cost centers that they can work in. In addition, it also looks back to our advanced scheduling rules. These rules will ensure that there are not any scheduling violations. Keep in mind that these rules can be configured based upon your specific business needs. For example, you can set up rules around the number of hours scheduled per day or per week, which will prevent an employee from being scheduled into an overtime situation. Once the shifts have been automatically assigned, we can then view the fully populated schedule. As you can see, we can easily review and manage the schedule on a day-by-day basis. And when you refresh your screen, you will see the total scheduled hours and any unfilled shifts across the entire schedule. And you will get visibility into the labor costs associated with this new schedule as well. Now, you have the ability to set budgets for your schedule to limit the labor costs associated with this schedule if needed. You can also group this schedule by cost center. As you can see, our schedule has been reorganized, allowing us to see a breakdown of each cost center to help ensure that we have the right coverage. Also, you will notice that each shift on the schedule is color-coded for easier schedule management. And while this schedule has been auto-populated for us, we still may want to review it and make edits before posting this schedule to our employees. So in this example, let's say that we need to add an additional shift. We are now brought to our shift management tool where we can identify the shift date and time. So let's start by changing the date, and then we can edit the time. Let's have this shift begin at 8 a.m. and end at 4 p.m. We also need to define the shift qualifications. So in other words, which cost center and which skill or job we are adding for this new shift. And finally, we can assign an employee to this newly created shift. As you can see, we are brought to a list of all of the employees who are available and eligible to take this shift. This is considering all of your scheduling rules to prevent any scheduling violations. Here on the Others tab, you can see an example of how our system filters out any employees that do not qualify for a shift based upon your scheduling rules. It will check for skill and cost center eligibility, overlapping shifts, overtime, time off, and availability, etc. Let's select a qualified employee to fill this shift. Once we select that employee, we can view that employee's full schedule details and compare it to the employee's defined availability. We can then save this shift and it will be posted to the schedule. We can also adjust the existing assigned shifts by clicking on the shift right here on the schedule itself. As you can see, a pop-up card appears, which will allow us to get increased visibility into this shift. This will allow us to delete the shift, copy the shift, unassign the employee from the shift, or manage the shift. Now, this is the same functionality that we saw when we added a new shift. We can change the date for this shift. We can change the time for this shift. We can split the shift. We can also change the cost center or the skills required for the shift. Or we can assign a different employee to fill this shift. Now remember, this view is looking at one day at a time, so we can toggle to review each day on the schedule, making adjustments as we go. We can also view the entire week all at once. Here we have the same level of visibility as the day view, but on a larger scale. We can still get visibility into each shift by accessing the pop-up card, and we can make adjustments as needed. We can also use the drag-drop scheduling functionality to make quick changes to our schedule. Essentially, we can drag an assigned shift and drop it to a new employee, and it will validate these changes against our rules engine to make sure that we don't have any scheduling violations. Now, within this schedule, we can also get additional visibility into pending or approved time-off requests. Those pending time-off requests can also be approved, rejected, or modified right here from the schedule itself. Now, keep in mind that if an employee takes a day of vacation after the schedule has been posted, the approved time-off request will take the place of the shift on the schedule, unassigning the employee and creating an open shift that needs to be filled. You can require that your employees fill these open shifts themselves, or the schedule manager can handle the process. Now, once we have finished reviewing the schedule, filled all the open shifts, and reviewed any scheduling constraints, then the schedule should be ready to be posted. After the schedule has been posted, the system will update the schedules for the employees to view within their employee self-service portal. And the employees will be alerted through an email notification that their schedule is now ready to be viewed. Now let's talk about open shift management. Back on the schedule dashboard, we have a tile that is calling out any open shifts that need to be filled, and we can easily drill down into those open shifts directly from here. We can then review the shift details and assign an employee to this shift. And keep in mind that the system will only allow us to select an employee that meets the qualifications so that we don't create a scheduling violation. Now, rather than just assigning the shift, we also have an option to post this open shift to a set of employees and allow our employees to volunteer to pick up that shift. So let's take a look. In this case, let's pull up the schedule that included that open shift. As you can see, there is an open shift located here under the open shift panel. And as we click on this shift, we are now able to push this out to our employees. From here, we can select the shift, and then we can select the employees that we would like to push this out to. Again, it will only allow us to post this to employees that meet the scheduling qualifications. Once the shift has been posted, these employees will receive a notification and can pick up the shift on a first-come, first-served basis. And keep in mind that any changes made after a schedule has been posted can be edited right from the schedule itself, and the changes will be pushed back to the employee. So now let's take a look at how the employees can access their schedule. As we take a look at our employees view, keep in mind that employees can access their schedule from anywhere on any device and right from their dashboard, an employee can check out their schedule and time off calendar for quick visibility. This will show an employee when they are scheduled to work versus scheduled to be off. It will also highlight any approved PTO and upcoming company holidays as well. When selecting a day on the calendar, a pop-up card will display showing me additional information about my schedule or my time off. And by clicking on my schedule, I can get more detail into my entire schedule. So here, an employee will be able to see when and where they are scheduled to work. As you can see, the system will give them everything they need to make sure that they are at work in the right place at the right time. You can also give employees control over their own schedule by allowing them to pick up any open shifts based upon their qualifications and their availability. And if an employee needs to swap shifts or request a change of coverage, they can initiate those scheduling changes themselves. Under the Shift Swap tab, we will get a list of eligible qualified employees that we can swap shifts with. We can also initiate a coverage request if we needed someone to pick up our shift. This could be for the entire shift or just half of the shift. And again, we can choose from a list of qualified employees to post this shift out to. Once posted, these employees will receive a notification and can pick up the shift on a first-come, first-served basis. Any requests for scheduling changes will be routed through an approval process before going into effect. Essentially, this gives employees more control over their work-life balance, which makes for happier, more productive employees. When it comes to a time and labor management solution, you need a tool that will not only allow your employees to clock in and out and request time off, but you also need a tool to proactively alert your managers of any pending action items and give your management team access into analytics that will help drive business outcomes and efficiencies. So let's jump right into our employees view and discuss the different ways that employees can track their time within the system. First, we have a mobile app, which will allow your employees to clock in or out through their mobile device. Keep in mind that we can define geofencing restrictions to ensure that your employees are clocking in at the right location. In addition, we can also work with a variety of different hardware devices, which can range from simple swipe devices to biometric devices. And of course, employees can also track their time using the web portal as well. So let's take a look at how our employees can collect and manage their time. Right here on the dashboard, we have quick access to clock in, or clock out, or change cost centers throughout the day. By clicking on the Change Cost Center button, I can select which cost center I will be working in. As you can see, a list of available cost centers appear for me to make my selection. Once selected, the user will then be notified that this transfer happened successfully. In addition, an employee is able to attach a document to their punch, so I can easily attach pictures of miles driven, pictures of completed work orders, or completed projects, etc., for my manager to review during the timesheet approval process. Now, if I wanted to review my timesheet, I can access it right from this same dashboard tile. This will take me to my current timesheet, where I can review all of my time entries so far for this pay period, and if necessary, I can request changes to be made to my timesheet through a timesheet change request. Here I can request that time be added or modified on my timesheet, and these requested changes will be routed through an approval process before going into effect. The system also allows an employee to track additional information, such as tips, mileage, and expense reimbursements. In this example, I am going to submit an expense that occurred today. We can also select the type of expense, and we will need to enter in the dollar amount for this reimbursement. Now, in addition to simply tracking expenses, I can also upload a copy of my receipt for my manager to review as part of the timesheet approval process. Once approved, this extra pay will flow over into payroll. Now let's take a look at how an employee can request time off in the system. Right from our dashboard, we have instant visibility into our available PTO balances. And we can visually see any upcoming PTO available here on the time off calendar. Within this tile, we have a quick link available that will allow us to easily access the time off request tool. Here we can see our time off balance details, and we have the option to donate hours into a company accruals bank or to an individual employee if needed. We can also initiate a time off request right from this screen. Now, before we begin this request, keep in mind that we can establish rules which could require an employee to have enough time accrued to accommodate this upcoming time off request. Here we have a calendar highlighting our current scheduled days and any upcoming PTO. This insight really helps employees as they are managing their time off. So to start our PTO request, we would simply need to select a day right here from this calendar. Now keep in mind that there is an optimized rules engine in place, allowing you to set rules around how your employees can take their vacation. For example, you could establish rules around blackout periods, or maybe to only allow a certain number of employees to be out on a given day. And if there is a violation against the PTO policy, then the system will create an error to identify that restriction. So in this case, the day I chose was highlighted as a restricted day, and I can toggle to the team view for additional information. Using the team calendar, I can see the other employees who will be out on this particular day, and I can decide how I want to proceed with my request. Now, to start this request, we would need to identify if this is going to be a full day, partial day, or multiple day event. And finally, you may also enter a comment for this request if needed. Now, if you put in a time off request on a day that is not available, you will receive a warning message. In this case, I will submit the request anyway, so we can see what the manager approval process will look like. Once the request has been submitted, a notification will alert the manager that the time off request is now ready for their review. Now let's take a look at how our managers can utilize the system to help manage their workload. When our manager logs in, he has everything that he needs in order to better manage his employees right at his fingertips. So here from his dashboard, he can easily manage all of his day-to-day tasks. And keep in mind that any to-do item will trigger an email notification to the manager, prompting them to take action. Here on the dashboard, we can see the time off request that we submitted for our employee is displaying as a task under the time off awaiting my approval window. Now remember, we can set rules around your time off policies, so by the time it reaches the manager's desk, it should be an easy approval. That said, maybe we want to check out the time off calendar first. Here we have our time off calendar that is currently being filtered for the current month. You also have the option to view this calendar on a weekly or an annual basis as well. Now, each type of time off is color-coded for better visibility, and any pending requests will be identified here on the calendar as well. So right from the calendar, we can see if there are any other employees who are out on this particular day, and we can determine if we want to approve this request. So as you can see, due to our time off policy, there is a reminder that there are no slots available. So in this case, we will use our discretion to approve this request. Now keep in mind, you can set up multiple levels of approval based upon your business needs. And once this has been approved, a notification will go back to the employee, letting them know the status of their request, and the time off can then be exported to their calendar. Now we can move forward with approving the timesheets. Again, right from our dashboard, we have a tile that is showing us all of the timesheets that are awaiting our approval. The manager can approve these timesheets all at once or on an individual basis. Now, there are checks and balances in place to flag missing punches so that we can make sure that everything is correct before we send these hours into payroll. So in this example, we can see that our employee has an incomplete time entry. So let's skip this timesheet and approve the rest. Now I can drill down into this timesheet to make the correction. And I can easily locate the missing punch as it is highlighted right here on the timesheet. It appears that the employee did not clock out at the end of the day, so let's correct this punch. Now keep in mind that the system is capturing all of these changes in an audit trail. We can capture who made the change, when the changes were made, the old value versus the new value, and which IP address the change was made from. In addition, notes can be left against a timesheet to provide additional information about why a change was made. So if there is ever a discrepancy, you can always look back to that audit trail to get a better understanding of what happened. Once you have finished correcting the missing punch, you can move forward with approving the timesheet. And once all of the timesheets have been approved, then they will be ready for payroll processing. Now, our managers are looking for a tool that will give them visual insights into their team's operations, allowing them to view key metrics, analyze trends, and prompt them to take action when needed. So managers can create these custom dashboard reports to give them that much needed insight as to what is going on within their department. So while we're here on the team dashboard, let's take a look at some analytics that I've created just to take a deeper dive into the attendance issues across my team. Now keep in mind that these tiles are customizable and you can determine what types of metrics you would like to display here. Because attendance is so important when it comes to managing your team, you can use the attendance board to see who's in and out of the office at any given point throughout the day. On this dashboard, you can also flag any missing punches, absences, or other attendance concerns. These attendance issues will trigger an email notification to management so they are aware and they can take any necessary action. Now, understanding that labor costs are such a large business expense, it is also important that our managers get a good pulse on the labor associated with their team. So here I've created some analytics to get further insight into what makes up our labor expenses. Here I have created a chart that shows us how many total hours were worked in each cost center for a defined date range. As we dig into our labor costs, one of the biggest reasons for unnecessary labor costs is overtime. So in looking at this overtime trends chart, I can quickly identify if my overtime is an isolated occurrence or if it's a reoccurring event. And I can drill down directly into this data from my dashboard for further insight. Now, in order to better control overtime costs, you really need a tool that will give you instant visibility into your overtime so you can quickly take action and cut those unplanned labor costs. So here we have an approaching overtime report, which will automatically alert management of those who have worked over a certain number of hours. Having this insight will allow managers to be more observant of how their employees are spending their time and will ultimately help to prevent that unnecessary overtime from occurring. In addition, this dashboard provides tools to help understand where the majority of your overtime is coming from. Essentially, you can monitor these overtime metrics so you can see which cost centers have accrued overtime and which employees make up those overtime hours. These metrics will help to determine if the overtime is a problem for one employee or a concern across the entire team. You can use these metrics to help make strategic business decisions, such as reallocating the workload or possibly hiring a new employee. Now, to view these metrics in further detail, we can drill down into these reports directly from the dashboard. Now, to get better insight into where my overtime is occurring, I'm going to begin by grouping this by cost center. Now, this has helped me reorganize my data for better visibility. Each cost center is listed here on the left, and the cost center totals are available here on the right, with a breakdown of all of the employees listed beneath them. In addition, I can get more detail and analyze my overtime trends by changing the date range of this report. You can change the filters within this report to look for a specific calendar range, date range, or pay period. We can also filter our reports for information around specific employees. Now, when it comes to reporting, each report has ad hoc reporting features where managers can pull information into their reports as needed. The current columns displayed within your report are listed here on the right, and on the left is a list of all of the available reportable columns. So let's do a search to bring in our hourly pay. Using the up and down arrows, we can decide where we want to display this column within our report. And when we're happy with the placement, we can apply these changes. Now we can see the hourly pay column has been added into our report. And once you've configured your report to your liking, you can then save those settings. When saving your reports, you have the opportunity to share this report with other managers across your organization. You can also export this report. So let's take a quick look at our export formats. As you can see, you can export these reports into one of the standard export settings that are listed here. You can also choose to have this report delivered right to your inbox for easy access. Managers can also create charts and visualizations based upon the metrics collected in this report to get further insight, as you can see here at the bottom of the screen. In addition, we have a guided analysis tool that will help assist in the analysis of your data. As you can see, when using this tool, you are able to easily pull metrics to get better insights into your overtime across different cost centers or managers. You can also get a breakdown of how work time is being distributed by demographic, etc. So let's take a look at an example. First, we need to choose the cost center that we are going to be evaluating. Then we want to review our weekly overtime hours compared to our regular hours. And finally, we want to establish the date range that we will be evaluating. And then once ready, you can simply click on the Assist Me button. And this brings up our Insights Explorer results. In this case, we are able to get a better handle on how our work time is being distributed by employee demographics based on the filters that we had selected. Here we can see the regular hours and the overtime hours are being broken down by ethnicity and age. We can also expand this report to include gender as well. And at the bottom of this report, the system has created additional charts to better visualize these demographics. I hope you were able to see that when it comes to managing your workforce, this solution will allow you to get the insights you need by providing the right tools to help you better manage your team, control your labor costs, and allow you to make more strategic business decisions. Let us help you simplify your payroll processing, ensure compliance, and receive the perfect paycheck every time. Our payroll engine is designed to simplify your entire payroll process, ensuring accuracy by reducing payroll errors and by providing in-depth reporting on your payroll data. With this tool, you can also empower your employees to access all of their payroll information, including their pay stubs and W-2s, quickly and easily from any device. Let's begin by taking a look at how you would be able to process your payroll within this solution. Here on your payroll dashboard, you can create functional charts to drill down into your payroll information. And keep in mind that you can determine what reporting and metrics you would like to have available right here at your fingertips, which can then be displayed here on your dashboard. In this example, you could have a chart showing you insights into your payroll trends over a period of time. You could also have a chart that is breaking down labor distribution across various cost centers within your organization. In addition, you can also use this payroll report to easily see which payrolls need to be processed directly from your dashboard. And right from this payroll report, you can kick off your payroll processing. As you can see, the payroll processing screen is logically laid out to define every step of the process in a checklist format, outlining a clear, easy process for the administrator to follow. Now, the first step in this checklist is allowing you to run a payroll pre-check report. This information can be accessed at any time throughout the pay period, allowing the payroll administrator to proactively review and manage any payroll updates in advance. This will highlight any changes to scheduled earnings, new base compensation records, new hire information, etc. The next step in the process directs you to the time prep review. This allows you to view all of the timekeeping data to make sure that it's ready for payroll processing. Here you can process historical timesheet changes, such as updating hours on a previously processed timesheet, or you can manage retro pay calculations. Now, as part of this process, you will be prompted to verify that all of your time off requests and timesheets have been approved. This is also where you will process your time records and ensure that there aren't any errors being flagged before moving these hours into payroll. And then once this process has been completed, you can easily get back to your payroll processing screen. Back on your payroll checklist, you are then asked to initiate your payroll. Initiating the payroll will create all of the pay statements for the employees assigned to this particular payroll that you are processing. Next, you can move forward with syncing your time, which will pull all of the timekeeping data into your pay statements so you can begin reviewing your payroll data. And the easiest way to review your payroll data is through the batch entries screen. So let's take a look at our batch. As you can see, this batch entry screen is used to review the payroll data across all employees from one screen. And if necessary, you can make manual overrides to the pay statements directly from this report. Now, as we are editing this data, there are checks and balances in place to prevent overpayments. So payroll alerts can be set up globally or on an individual basis using effective dating. And these alerts will require a sign-off to ensure that nothing gets overlooked during the payroll process. A global alert might be set up to flag when an employee is being paid over a certain dollar amount, while an individual alert would be set up as a reminder to a user of something that needs to be done on that particular payroll. Now, right from this batch, you can identify if there is a payroll alert when this notepad icon is displayed. So to view the alert, we will simply click here on the icon. And in this case, this is an individual alert that has been set up as a reminder to enter a bonus for this employee. And you will notice that this does require sign-off. Without signing off on this alert, we will not be able to submit our payroll for finalization. So that said, let's sign off on this alert now, and then we can enter the bonus into our batch. To enter this bonus, we can keep the bonus on the same pay statement as the regular earnings, and the system will tax the regular earnings at the regular tax rate, while it taxes the bonus at the supplemental tax rate, allowing you to keep everything on one check. Or you have the option of creating a second check for this bonus. Here on the second line for this employee, we can enter the bonus here in the bonus column. Then you will need to change the pay statement type to reflect the second check. So let's change this pay statement type to a bonus check. Now, keep in mind that you can set up different rules for these different pay statement types. So for example, when you pay out a bonus check, maybe you want to block all deductions and issue the pay statement as a live check. Once ready, you will want to save and update your payroll to save the changes that we just made. As the batch is saved and updated, the payroll calculations are being applied in real time, so you can review those pay statements and run any payroll reports without the need for the traditional pre-process. So if we take a look at the pay statement that we just created, you will notice that this has not been finalized. You will also notice the bonus that we just added for this employee is now appearing here on the pay statement. And then from here, you will be able to see how the bonus will affect the taxes, which are being calculated in real time. Our system uses geospatial technology to determine what taxes should be applied. It's going to look at where the employees work and where the employees live to determine the appropriate taxes, and it is intuitive enough to calculate down to the local taxes, as well as considering the reciprocity agreements between states regarding taxes. This means you do not need to worry about assigning tax codes to your employees because the system automatically applies the appropriate taxes for each employee during the payroll process. Now, once everything is reviewed and ready to go, you can close your batch and head back out to your payroll checklist. Next, we have the Add Edit Pay Statement step. This will allow you to view the payroll data on an individual basis rather than reviewing all of the employee pay statements on one screen as we saw within the batch. Then you need to make sure that you have reviewed all of your payroll alerts before you can close and submit your payroll. Now, because our payroll alert has already been taken care of, we can move forward with closing our payroll. Now, if there are any errors associated with these pay statements, they would be flagged here in this step. Now, at any time during the payroll process, you have access to your payroll reports. So let's take a look at some of the more commonly used payroll reports. We will begin by taking a look at our payroll register. The information on this payroll register is pulling from the payroll in its current state. Remember, you could look at this report even before the payroll has been closed, and you will see all of the calculations happening in real time for each pay statement. Now let's take a quick look at the general ledger summary. Keep in mind that the GL can be formatted based upon your accounting software specifications, and there are several different export formats available for your GL, including Excel or QuickBooks. Next, I'd like to take a look at the payroll recap and funding report. Here you can see an overview of the entire payroll, including the number of paid employees. You can also see the total check amount and the total direct deposit amount. You can check out your tax liabilities, your vendor payments, and your cash requirements. This report also includes a high-level GL summary and a couple of payroll comparison reports. So as you can see, there are many different payroll reports that you can review, including some reports that will help with auditing your payroll. For example, you have access to an employees not paid report, a master data change report, and a manual edits audit report. Now, probably the most impactful audit report is the payroll comparison report. This report provides a high-level comparison from the previous pay period. It is highlighting where there are any variances in your payroll data, And you can drill down into these variances directly from this screen to get more information. So as you can see, this is a great tool to help with auditing your payrolls. After the payroll has been reviewed and closed, then the payroll can be submitted for finalization and delivery. Now, employees can also access their historical payroll data from within their employee self-service portal, which is conveniently available on any device. Right on their dashboard, they all have access to all of their historical payroll data. And with this personalized solution, they are provided a countdown to their next payday along with their next check date. Employees have access to all of their historical payroll data right from this screen. Here they can see a high-level view of their pay statement details, and if they wanted to view the actual pay statement, they could simply click on the Pay Statement button. And this will give the employees access to view their pay stub, which will display all of their earnings, their taxes withheld, and their benefit deductions. Also, given that this system operates off of a single database, the employees will have access to their timesheet details and their accrual balances as well. In addition, employees can also download a copy of their pay stub right from here if needed. Also, right from this same payroll tile, your employees will have access to the Predict My Pay tool. This tool will calculate an employee's anticipated payroll changes to see how those updates will impact their next paycheck. Across the top of the screen, an employee can see the details of their last finalized pay statement, and below they are able to make adjustments to their compensation, their federal or state withholdings, overtime or additional earnings, and their deductions, such as making changes to their 401k contributions. So if an employee just received a promotion and wanted to see how their increase will impact their take-home pay, they can increase their hourly rates and then recalculate their pay. Now, across the top of the screen, we can see how that increase will impact their paycheck once those adjustments have gone into effect. Again, using this same payroll tile, your employees can also view and update their direct deposit information. They can also access all of their historical W-2 forms. Now, your employees can have the option to consent to receive their W-2s electronically, and after signing the consent, they would be notified when their W-2 is ready for review. As you can see, all of their historical W-2s are easily accessible right from their dashboard with just a click of a button. And from here, they have instant access to view and download their W-2, so they have this information available when filing their tax returns. And if there are any corrections that need to be made to the W-2 after the year has been closed, you can perform a year-end correction payroll to create the W-2C forms to be distributed to your employees. And finally, we can also check out the total compensation statement right from the dashboard. By default, we are looking at the current year-to-date compensation statement. However, employees can also choose to compare compensation history year over year. While the compensation statement is embedded into the solution, employees can also download a copy of their total comp statement for their own personal records. So here an employee will see their total compensation package for the year, including both direct and indirect compensation. As you can see, this highlights the value of the employee's compensation package, including cash compensation, employer contributions to their benefits, and any additional perks that the employees may have received. As you can see, our employee self-service portal will provide your employees quick access to all of their payroll information from one centralized location. Our ACA management tool enables you to easily manage your ACA compliance by streamlining the collection of employees' hours and monitoring important metrics such as measurement periods and benefits eligibility. With this solution, you will receive proactive alerts, which will provide critical information when you need it the most to help you effectively manage your ACA strategy. Let's begin by discussing how our ACA management tool will help you track and manage your ACA compliance. Everything that you need to manage your ACA will be found in our Compliance Hub, which is easily accessible right here from the dashboard. Now, the Compliance Hub itself is a one-stop shop for everything compliance related. You will notice that there is a separate tab across the top that is specifically designated for ACA management. And within the system, you can design your own ACA rules to be calculated based upon your specific ACA strategy. And you can also access strategic reporting to help manage employees to make sure that you are in compliance with government guidelines. You will have real-time insight into your ACA tracking efforts within this ACA Data Summary report. This report allows you to review a summary of all of your employees together over a period of time. This summary provides statistics on how many employees are considered to be full-time versus part-time. And you can also quickly identify if there are any possible status changes or any compliance alerts that you should be aware of. And you can then drill down into any of these metrics directly from this report. As you drill down into these metrics, you will get a more detailed view into your data. So in this case, we can see a list of all of our full-time employees who are potentially downgrading to part-time status. And from here, you can also review your employees' ACA data detail on an individual basis. Now keep in mind that because this is a unified platform that provides a single employee record, you are able to report on relevant information from time, HR, and payroll, which allows for a more effective ACA administrative process. Within this ACA tracker, the system is automatically capturing how many hours are worked per month by each employee, and then the system analyzes this data to determine who is considered to be full-time or part-time. Then within this tracker, you can see where each employee falls within their measurement periods. You can also keep track of which employees have been offered an affordable benefit plan, and there are compliance alerts in place to proactively notify you of any compliance issues should they occur. In addition, you can also keep tabs on those employees who have a possible status change so that you can better manage your ACA strategy. You can also streamline your ACA year-end processing, which can be handled within the system using the IRS, AIR filing, and state-specific filing formats. As part of the year-end processing, the system will also auto-populate your IRS forms. So at year-end, the 1094 and 1095-C forms will be populated with the information collected throughout the year within your ACA tracker. And finally, employees can easily opt in to have their 1095 forms electronically delivered through their employee self-service portal, or these forms can be printed and delivered as a hard copy. As you can see, this solution will provide you with the tools you need to help manage your ACA strategy more efficiently. Implementing an HR management solution empowers you to automate routine HR tasks, ensuring accuracy and compliance while streamlining your entire employee lifecycle. By centralizing your HR functions, this solution will help you to manage all of your employee data from onboarding to offboarding. This solution promotes communication and engagement among employees, managers, and HR professionals. With real-time access to your data, you can quickly navigate compliance requirements, make informed decisions, and significantly reduce the burden of manual administration processes. In turn, this allows you to focus on what truly matters the most, your people. Let's get started at the beginning of the employee's life cycle with onboarding. When a new employee signs their offer letter, you can provide them access to their onboarding portal right out of the gate. This personalized onboarding dashboard can include a welcome message and dynamic content to keep the new hire engaged prior to their first day of work. It can be used to introduce company culture, set expectations for their first day of employment, and share other relevant resources such as links to their benefit packages, an introduction to training resources, and company documentation as well. In addition, an employee's onboarding tasks can be made available through this checklist, which can be completed from the web portal or from the convenience of their phone. As you can see, this checklist is displaying all of the onboarding tasks that have been assigned for this new hire to complete. For example, your new hires might need to complete their new hire training tasks. They might need to review their handbook, complete their I-9 and withholding forms, set up their direct deposits, and enroll in their benefits. You can track the progress of these tasks to ensure that every part of the onboarding process is completed timely, and upon completion, these items will be saved and updated against the employee's HR record. This solution fosters an environment that promotes communication and engagement across your workforce. Right here on your dashboard, you will notice that we have an announcements tile. This can be used to share information on upcoming events, company updates, or deadline reminders, training opportunities, etc. Employees will also be notified of any pending to-do items through their mailbox. When an employee is assigned a task, they will receive a notification, and that task will easily be accessible right here on their to-do list. For example, when an employee is asked to participate in their performance review, provide feedback on a survey, complete a new training course, or maybe even review and sign off on an updated company policy, they will be able to access those items directly from their to-do list. Now, throughout the year, employees might need to make changes to their personal information. As you can see, employees can easily make updates to their personal information through an HR action request. HR actions allow you to streamline the management of employee data by giving your employees the opportunity to initiate these change requests themselves through their employee self-service portal. And once these changes get approved, they will be automatically updated against their employee record based upon the effective date entered on the form. For example, an employee can initiate an address change. They can update their own credentials or certifications, and they can update their own direct deposit information. And you can also promote employee engagement with employee nomination forms as well. Now, throughout the year, employees can also update their withholdings, which can be automatically tied into payroll. You will notice that this form is automatically populated with the employee's information, which makes it quick and easy for the employee to complete. Employees can also access their performance goals, which can help your employees to be more proactive with their tasks and projects, leading to increased productivity. Here they are able to provide regular updates on the status of their goals, which promotes open and transparent communication between employees and their managers. Our HR solution also allows for benefit enrollment. Employees can enroll in their benefits during open enrollment, and they can also make changes to their benefits outside of the open enrollment period through a life change event. Using our benefit enrollment wizard, employees are able to easily navigate through their benefit selections. And once finished, they can submit their benefits for approval. You can also share company documents with your employees to have right at their fingertips. This can include information on their benefit packages or a copy of their employee handbook, etc. The Company Hub is a single access point which allows you to create custom content to provide tools and resources for your employees to quickly and easily access. Essentially, this allows you to embed videos, attach company documentation, and insert relevant links to really build employee engagement. You can use this platform as a way to communicate company news or announcements. You can also highlight employee achievements You can provide training opportunities, and you can give employees quick access to your help desk. You can also leverage the company hub to provide employees with more information around their benefit packages, and you can give them access to apply for internal job openings as well. As you can see, this HR solution will provide your employees with the tools and resources they need when they need it. Now let's take a look at the HR administrator's responsibilities. One of the key benefits of using an HR solution is that you will spend less time wading through the manual administration process. So similar to the employee's experience, you will be notified when there are items that are pending your review and approval, and these items will be placed within your to-do list for easy access. So here on your to-do list, you will have visibility into any tasks that require your attention. Now remember, you can empower your employees to take ownership of their own personal information by allowing them to initiate changes to their HR information through their employee self-service portal. So employees can create HR action requests for things like direct deposit changes, address changes, and they can also update their own emergency contact information, etc. Now, HR actions can also be initiated by the manager or HR administrator for things like new hires, salary changes, promotions, or terminations as well. And once these changes have been submitted, you would be alerted through an email notification, and the request would be displayed right here on your to-do list. And then from here, you can review and approve the changes, which will automatically be updated within their employee record based upon the effective date of the request. Now, this is also where you can manage the benefit enrollment process. And once the benefits are approved, the selections will be saved against the employee's record, and to maximize efficiencies with this process, the payroll deductions will automatically be created based upon effective dating, eliminating any manual data entry. In addition, you can also participate in the performance management cycle right from your to-do list as well. From here, you can complete the review finalization process, which may include entering in ratings, final comments, or even entering annual increases for your employees. And finally, we also have a broadcast communication tool that is easily accessible right within your mailbox as well. As you can see, you are able to create mass communications that can be sent to your employees via email or SMS communications. And as part of this communication, you can also include a calendar invitation. So if you wanted to use this tool to announce an upcoming meeting or event, you can also proactively place that on everyone's calendar as well. And finally, you also have the ability to schedule these communications in advance to make it a little bit easier to manage your day-to-day tasks. Now let's take a look at how you can use this tool to better manage your employees. Using the My Team tile right here on our dashboard, we can do a search for a specific employee. And right from here, we have quick access to everything we need to better manage our employees. For example, you can quickly access your employees' timesheets, their pay statement history, their schedules, etc. We can also see where this employee falls within the org chart. As you can see, Josh reports into Paul, and from here we can also see all of Paul's direct reports as well. You can also send individual communications to your employees right from here. And if your employees need assistance with their employee self-service portal, perhaps they got stuck somewhere along the way, you were able to log in as that individual to help with troubleshooting. I am now logged in as my employee, and I am able to see everything that this employee has access to. As you can see, this is a great tool that will help with supporting your employees. And once you have finished assisting your employees, you can easily close the account view to get back to your admin portal. And right from the My Team tile, you can easily access the employee's record. Now, because this is one single database, the employee record pulls components of timekeeping, HR, and payroll into a single centralized file for easy access. The employee record can be organized based upon how you are using the system and is scalable based upon your security settings. Essentially, we can display the items that you are tracking or need additional visibility into. For example, here on the main tab, we have visibility into our employees' personal information, their contact information, their compensation, etc. And to make it easier to find the information that you're looking for, you can use the search bar here across the top of the employee record. So if you wanted to check out the accrual balances for an employee, you could simply do a search for accruals. And as you can see, it's really quick and easy to find the information that you are looking for. Now, under the HR tab, you will notice that we have the ability to track and report off of any of your HR needs. Here you can keep track of any completed trainings, certifications, or credentials, and you will be notified of any upcoming expiration dates for easier management. You can also view or access any uploaded documentation or electronic forms that your employees have completed. This could be I-9 forms, withholding forms, or any additional custom forms that you have asked your employees to complete. Essentially, any paper forms that you have used previously can be created as an electronic form within the system so you can go paperless. And within the employee record, you will also have access to all components of the employee's performance, like incident tracking, skills, and goals, etc. You also have the ability to create custom fields to track anything that is unique to you. These custom fields are easy to create and they are fully reportable and do not require any additional development work. Also within the employee record, you would be able to access the Payroll tab to make payroll adjustments for your employees. This can include updating deductions, tax withholdings, and direct deposits. But remember, you can automate these manual adjustments by allowing your employees to initiate some of these changes through their employee self-service portal. And once those changes have been submitted and approved, then the employee's personal information will automatically be updated against their employee record using effective dating. So this means it will automatically be updated for the appropriate payroll with little intervention from your payroll administrator. Now, within our Forms Hub, you will have one convenient place to access all of the forms across your company. This includes all of the employee I-9 forms, withholding forms, W-2s or 1099s, and all custom forms as well. All of the standard forms that you see here within the Forms Hub are system maintained, which means you will always have the most current forms available for your employees. You can also access the All Employees Forms tab to view all of the forms that have been submitted by your employees in one centralized location. This solution will also help you put policies and procedures in place to enforce ongoing HR compliance. As you can see, the Compliance Hub is a one-stop shop for everything compliance related. We have tools in place to help maintain compliance with workplace equality, data retention and privacy, ACA tracking, leave of absence tracking, and workers' compensation reporting, to name a few. Now, our benefits management tool is seamlessly tied into your ACA tracking efforts to help manage your ACA compliance strategy. So using our ACA solution, you will have visibility into benefits eligibility and plan affordability, and you will be proactively alerted should any compliance issues occur. And at year end, the 1094 and 1095 forms will be populated with the information collected within the ACA tracker and will be ready for filing. Now, when it comes to managing leave, employees have the option to initiate their own leave request through their employee self-service portal. And once the request gets approved, the leave case would be created so you can begin tracking that leave of absence. This leave tracker will streamline the entire administration process with built-in rules and notifications. And if someone gets injured on the job, we have a tool that will allow you to document this worker's claim. You will be able to keep track of what happened, when and where the incident occurred, were they seen by a doctor or drug screened, were they out of work for an extended period of time, and when they returned, were they on light duty, etc. You can also mark this worker's claim as OSHA recordable. The OSHA logs come standard within this solution and are automatically populated based on the information provided within the worker's claim. As you can see, this solution will really help with maintaining compliance across your workforce. You will also have instant access to any of your HR reporting through our Report Hub. The Report Hub is one centralized place to go to access all of the reports out of the database. It combines your saved reports, your completed reports, and all of your scheduled reports to really help optimize your daily reporting tasks. On the overview screen, you will notice that the reports are broken down into different categories. This makes it a little bit easier to locate the reports that you are looking for. The top used reports in each category are listed here initially, but you can select the See All option to see all of the available reports within that category. So as you can see, there are quite a few HR reports available within the system to help with managing your workforce. There's also a search option available here at the top of this report that can help users find the right report to begin with. This search is based upon the report or column data. So if I was looking for a report that showed the status of the checklists that I had assigned to my employees, I could do a quick search and I would get a list of all of the reports that will provide checklist information. So as you can see, this will help with locating the appropriate report quickly and easily. Now you also have the option to build your own reports using our report builder. This will allow you to pick and choose which columns you'd like to have displayed within your report, and it will build the closest match for you. Now, this solution will not only allow you to create reports and manage your employee data, but it also gives you the opportunity to proactively explore your data a little bit deeper, which can provide opportunities for you to drive positive change and mitigate risks within your organization. So let's take a look at our jobs report. And as we drill down into our job, you will notice that we have a built-in benchmarking tool, which will help you understand how specific areas of your business, such as compensation, hiring and turnover rates, and overtime, compare to industry standards. Let's take a look at a quick example using our staffing summary, which compares the turnover and hiring rates for this company compared to global averages. In this example, we can see that our hiring rate is below average, while our turnover rate is above average. And we can also get insights into our retention rate as well. Now, if you have a higher than average turnover rate, this might prompt strategic discussions on how to reduce employee turnover and improve overall employee satisfaction. Additionally, within this HR solution, you will have the capability to design surveys that can be used for assessing your manager's effectiveness or measuring employee satisfaction. Employees can complete these surveys anonymously, and once the survey closes, you will have access to view the results across your company. So using this report, you can see each survey question and how your employees responded. You can also create a visual representation of these responses across your entire organization as well. By actively leveraging these employee satisfaction surveys, you can drive positive change. Surveys can foster a culture of continuous improvement, enhance employee engagement, and contribute to the overall success and well-being of your organization. As you can see, implementing an HR solution will help streamline processes, enhance efficiencies, and promote a more strategic and data-driven approach to human resource management, ultimately fostering a more productive and engaged workforce. Benefits administration can be a complicated task for your HR team. This benefits solution will provide you with the tools needed to better manage all of the challenges associated with benefits administration, including streamlining your enrollment process, reducing risks associated with billing costs, and allowing you to better manage compliance requirements like COBRA and ACA. Let's begin by taking a look at how your employees can enroll in their benefits. Keep in mind that your employees can access their benefit enrollment tool from any device to better reach and engage your entire organization, making benefit enrollment easy and convenient for all. An employee can enroll in their benefits as a new hire, during open enrollment, and for life change events throughout the year. In this case, let's check out the open enrollment process. Now, automated notifications will alert your employees that it's time for open enrollment to begin. As your employees launch into the enrollment process, they are first brought to an instruction screen, which can be configured to give your employees an idea of what to expect as they work through this process. This can include written instruction, embedded videos, and access to supporting documentation, which will help educate your employees and encourage plan participation. As we get started, keep in mind that your benefit plan configuration is completely customizable based upon your specific benefit strategy. You are able to determine eligibility rules, define plan details, and create various types of benefit plans, including medical, dental, and vision plans, along with more complex plan offerings like FSA, HSA, life, and disability plans. The first step in the enrollment process is for the employee to review their family details or add new dependents, which will be required as they select their benefits within the upcoming steps. They'll only be able to provide coverage to the family members listed here. They can add a family member from scratch, or they can choose from an existing contact, and these contacts can be identified as dependents or beneficiaries. Now it's time for the employee to select their benefits, so we will begin by reviewing the medical insurance options. For an easy and convenient experience, you can provide a re-enrollment option, which will allow your employees to quickly re-enroll in their current benefit plans. Of course, they can also review each benefit offering individually and make the selections that work best for them. If you have more than one type of benefit plan, such as a high deductible versus a PPO plan, then your employees can compare these plans to better understand each option. Your employees can select the plans that they would like to review, and they will get a nice side-by-side comparison of these plan details. Across the top, you can also quickly change the coverage level by toggling from employee only to family, etc. And as you can see, the employees are able to compare the plan details such as the cost of each plan or the employee contribution. They are able to check out the primary office visit copay, the individual deductible, and the max out-of-pocket cost. The employee can then decide if they'd like to keep the same coverage or if they would like to make any changes. So perhaps this employee would like to keep the same Aetna employee-only plan. And as the employees are selecting their benefits, this shopping cart will be updated to reflect the total cost of their benefit package. So you can see that the medical plan has been added to the shopping cart, and the employee cost is displayed here for full transparency. When ready, they can continue with the enrollment process for their next benefit plan. Now, the same process will apply for the dental insurance. However, for every benefit plan, your employees will also have the option to waive or decline their coverage. In this case, perhaps this employee wants to waive their dental insurance option. When waiving their coverage, an employee may be required to provide a reason for opting out of that plan. This reason list is configurable and will provide additional reporting insights for your benefit administrator to understand the reasons why an employee might have waived their coverage. So perhaps this employee already has dental insurance through another plan. And now you can see that the shopping cart has been updated to reflect the waived benefit plan. So now let's move on to the life insurance election. There are a number of ways to set up the life insurance enrollment. Here we have set up a unit-based life insurance plan where the employees can select their coverage by entering the number of units that they will be electing. In this case, each unit has a value of $1,000. And as you can see with this disclaimer, 100 units or $100,000 or less is guaranteed, but it's possible to request more if the evidence of insurability is provided. So if your employee were to enter in more than the guaranteed amount, they would have the opportunity to upload a copy of their evidence of insurability form right from this screen. In addition, your employees would be required to add a beneficiary for their life insurance plan. So all of the employees' contacts are listed here for an easy selection. In this case, let's select the employee's spouse as a primary beneficiary. Now keep in mind that you can add additional primary or contingent beneficiaries as needed, but in this case, this employee's spouse will receive 100% of their life insurance benefits. Now before we continue, you will notice that an employee can compare their guaranteed amount versus their requested amount right from this screen. And once the EOI has been provided and approved, then the employee will be bumped up to the requested coverage level. So now it's time for the employee to review their final selections. This screen will allow your employees to review and confirm their selections. They still have the opportunity to make edits to their enrollment information if needed before submitting their request for approval. They can also download a copy of their benefit summary to keep for their records. As a last step in the process, they will be asked to sign off on their benefit elections by using their electronic signature. As you can see, we have received confirmation that this enrollment has been successfully submitted. And once submitted, the benefits will be carried through a workflow approval process. Now let's move on and take a look at how you can manage the benefit administration process. As you know, open enrollment is a big event that requires strategy, planning, and communication across your organization. This solution will provide you with quick access to relevant tools to help you manage open enrollment or even other key events throughout the year. Here you can access valuable resources which provide information on how to set up and manage the open enrollment process to support you in preparation for this big event. Now, the benefits dashboard will provide you with quick access to your benefit administration reporting. During open enrollment, you can use this enrollment status chart to check the status of the electronic benefit enrollment process across your organization. You can also get insight into your benefit census data, and you will have access to a benefit reconciliation tool to help manage your benefit costs as well. Now, after an employee submits their benefit enrollment form, that workflow would have triggered a notification prompting you to review their enrollment information, which you can access from your to-do list. Here on your to-do list, you will have visibility into the tasks that require your attention. This is where you can review and approve the new benefit requests as they come in. Once approved, the benefit selections will be saved against the employee's record, and to maximize efficiencies with this process, the payroll deductions will automatically be created based upon effective dating, eliminating any manual data entry. Also, we have an integration that will provide carrier connection services, which will automatically send the carriers any plan enrollment updates to help alleviate the manual benefit administration process. This solution will also work in sync with our HCM and payroll solution to automatically detect potential COBRA qualifying events and bring them to your attention. This COBRA administration solution automates your COBRA communications and helps manage your COBRA payments and collections as well. And finally, our benefits management tool is seamlessly tied into your ACA tracking efforts to help manage your ACA compliance strategy. Using our ACA solution, you will have visibility into benefits eligibility and plan affordability, and you will be proactively alerted should any compliance issues occur. With this solution, you are able to manage your entire performance cycle from beginning to end with tools to help aid you in managing employee development, rewarding performance, and retaining talent. Let's take a look at how you can use this performance management solution to better manage your team and help align your entire organization for success. The Talent Dashboard is an excellent place to quickly access key reporting and performance metrics that will help you understand how your employees are performing and will help aid you in the evaluation process. To get started, I want to draw your attention to the pie chart here on the dashboard, which will allow you to keep track of the entire review process across your organization. This chart will provide details around how many reviews are in progress, how many are finalized, etc. Keep in mind that there are automated system-generated notifications to remind those participating in the review process of upcoming due dates. Here on the to-do list, you can check out the reviews that have been assigned to you for completion. This solution allows you to automate and streamline your review process by allowing you to custom create your reviews electronically, thereby eliminating your paper-based forms. So let's begin by taking a look at this sample review. Now, your reviews can be auto-initiated based upon your review frequency. For example, you can create quarterly reviews or annual reviews based upon your specific business needs. When building your performance evaluations, you can define measurable objectives with a clearly defined rating scale to assess your employees fairly. This evaluation is reviewing the employees based upon their core values, their company competencies, and their goals, with the goals carrying the most value. Now, we were assigned the task of completing this employee's review. Keep in mind that these review workflows are completely configurable, meaning you can define who will be participating in this review process for each employee. As you are reviewing your employees, you might want to pull some performance metrics to make sure that you are providing a fair evaluation. So right here within the review, you will have access to historical reviews, along with other key data that will help with your evaluation. One big factor when developing your performance strategy is to define goals that will align the entire organization for success. You can create company-wide goals, team goals, and individual employee goals that can all be documented and managed within the system. Essentially, goal tracking allows you to stay on top of employee development. You can use this tool to encourage employees to achieve a new skill, work towards a new accomplishment, or even enroll in a new training program. So let's dive into a goal that has been assigned to this employee. Keep in mind that goals can be assigned to the employees throughout the year, and they can access their own goals within their employee self-service portal, where they can update the status of these goals themselves. And using the notes section, they can communicate their achievements to their manager. This enables management to continuously monitor employee goals and encourages managers to deliver ongoing coaching or feedback throughout the year. And these goals can then be automatically tied directly to the employee's performance review so that their achievements can be scored as part of their overall evaluation. In addition, you can capture additional information to aid you in evaluating your employees' performance. Incident tracking will help you identify areas for improvement within your organization. This could reflect attendance issues, safety concerns, and disciplinary or performance violations. Not only are you able to track poor performance within the system, but you are also able to track employee achievements, such as positive recognitions or awards earned by the employee. You can drill down into any incident directly from this screen to take a deeper look. Within each incident, you are able to keep track of the details, including any notes or comments left by the manager. As you can see, these documented incidents can play a huge role in the overall evaluation of an employee. And finally, you have the opportunity to gather peer feedback as you prepare for your upcoming review. Now, you can determine who will be providing feedback for your employees, or you can allow them to assign their own feedback providers. Your peer feedback questionnaire is custom built to gather valuable insights from frontline employees to incorporate into the overall evaluation. Now that we have evaluated our employees' performance, it's time to go through the review process. Here on the entry screen, managers can input their rankings and any additional comments for each of these review objectives. Once the feedback has been completed, this review can be submitted and will then be ready for finalization. On the summary screen, you can easily complete the finalization process. The final ranking is taking into account all of the different variables to determine the final weighted average for this review. As a last step in the review cycle, annual increases can be awarded to the employees for their hard work right here within the review. Or you can use our compensation module to manage the annual increases across your team from one centralized place. So let's check out our compensation module to see how easy it is to manage these increases. You have easy access to your compensation worksheet right from your dashboard. Within our compensation module, you can set budgets for your annual increases across your organization. In this example, we are awarding a 5% increase across the entire company. Each manager can award increases to their employees right here from this worksheet, and they will be forced to stay within the set budget. Now, this worksheet shows the managers their employees' current compensation, how they performed on their last finalized review, and where they currently stand within their pay grade. There is also a built-in tool that makes recommendations for what increase percentage the manager should distribute to the employees based upon their performance rating and pay grade so they can make fair compensation decisions. Once all of the increases have been inputted into this worksheet, then the manager would be able to submit their compensation changes for approval, and upon approval, the new compensation changes would automatically go into effect based upon effective dating. Now, to help with your compensation strategy, you can also use our built-in compensation benchmarking tool, which will allow you to compare your compensation to global averages. Let's take a look at the associate job in this example. Across the top of the job, there is a Show Benchmarking option, which will bring up our interactive comparison tool. Using this tool, we can see where our average compensation for this job currently falls against the global averages. But we can also make adjustments to this as well. For example, we can change our company size, vertical, and region. So as you can see, this is a great tool that will provide you with better insights into your compensation planning to make sure that you are offering fair, competitive compensation to your employees by being in line with global standards. Now, as the last component of performance management, our managers need tools and insights to help them effectively discuss career development opportunities with their employees. Our interactive succession planning tool helps identify and prepare talent for advancement or promotion to new, more challenging roles within the organization. Here on the dashboard, we can display analytics that will give us insight into our succession plans that we have in place. You may be familiar with a 9-box approach to succession planning. Essentially, this is a commonly used method for evaluating an organization's current talent and identifying potential leaders. When I compare the performance and readiness talent matrix, the individuals identified as high potential candidates for succession are located in the upper right-hand box, while those in the lower left-hand box might flag as a concern. This 9-box approach helps us identify where investments need to be made to help develop future leaders. In this example, we can see that Kelly is a high performer who is ready to make the move immediately when the need arises. We can also get insights into other metrics, such as the employee's potential, risk of loss, and impact of loss for key positions. And if we change our filter to show the risk of loss, this chart is now showing us that if Paul Peterson were to terminate employment, the impact of his loss would be significant. With our succession planning tool, you can identify replacement employees and make sure that they are ready when promotions, resignations, or reorganizations occur so that you are able to quickly and efficiently fill those open positions. Let's drill down and take a deeper look into Kelly's succession plan. When managing the succession plans for an employee, you can keep track of the employee's performance, which can be tied to the performance review outcome. In this case, Kelly is a high performer. You can also determine her readiness, and we can see that she is currently ready for the next step in her career path. She has high potential within the organization with a low risk of loss, meaning that she will not likely leave the company anytime soon. And if she were to leave the company, the impact of her loss would be relatively minor due to the fact that she is not in a critical or key role within the organization. Kelly is being groomed to replace Paul Peterson in the event that Paul changes roles or terminates employment. And if Kelly steps into a new position, we have identified Ashley as her potential successor. Assigning succession plans to an employee outlines a clear career path for them. This encourages employees to be more engaged and more motivated to continue to grow and develop within the company. And creating a strategy for mentoring and developing your employees will reduce retention risks and the impact of loss. In all, performance management is not strictly a performance review tool. Employees are looking to their managers for coaching and career planning. As you can see, performance management with succession planning allows you to review the skills and competencies required for those key positions and helps identify potential employees for development. Overall, this tool will help to improve employee engagement, develop talent, and ensure retention of your top performers. With our leave management solution, your organization can automate the administration and tracking of paid and unpaid federal, state, and employer-specific leave policies. This tool will enable you to reduce the administrative burden and the risk of non-compliance for managing leave of absence requests and eligibility. When it comes to leave, employees have the option to initiate their own leave request right through their employee self-service portal. Right on the employee's dashboard, they have instant insight into their leave balances, and they can initiate their leave request directly from here. With this self-service tool, they are able to not only request a leave of absence, but they are also able to check their eligibility by completing this Do I Qualify for FMLA questionnaire. When an employee kicks off the questionnaire, it will direct them to their to-do list to answer a series of qualifying questions. From their to-do list, they can complete their questionnaire to determine if they are eligible for FMLA. To initiate a leave request, an employee would simply complete this form. They have the option to request continuous or intermittent leave, and after a leave request has been submitted, it would be routed for approval. Once approved, the leave case would be created so you can begin tracking the leave of absence for this employee. With this tool, you will have access to global leave reporting and analytics across your organization. This dashboard identifies any open leave cases that you may be currently managing for easy access. From here, you can also quickly create a new leave case on behalf of your employees if needed. So let's drill down into this report to take a deeper look into one of these leave cases. On this first screen, you will have instant visibility into this employee's current leave status. This is also where you can keep track of the duration of their leave or when your employees are expected to return to work. And you will have a detailed view of their entitlement time or leave balances. And keep in mind that this solution helps to ensure that your policies are being enforced consistently across your organization. And this tool will allow you to set up rules to provide accurate tracking of both federal and state leave guidelines. To help improve efficiencies with tracking this data, you can also establish automatic notifications around when employees are expected to return to work. This leave management tool provides a seamless integration with timesheets and schedules. So within this leave case, you have the ability to generate these leave entries for the duration of this leave and then populate those hours onto the employee's timesheets. When you are setting up the leave rules, you can determine how the leave will hit the employee's timesheet. For example, you can set up rules so that they must use all of their PTO time, and when that has been exhausted, they would go unpaid for the remainder of their leave. You also have the ability to scan and store documents against the leave case as well. Now, everything that you need to manage leave will be found in our Compliance Hub, which is easily accessible right here from the dashboard. Now, the Compliance Hub itself is a one-stop shop for everything compliance related. You will notice that there is a separate tab here across the top that is specifically designated for leave management. This is where you will set up your leave rules, access all of your leave reporting, and you will also have access to all of the Department of Labor's FMLA forms, which are built standard within the system and can be populated with the employee's personal information for easy management. As you can see, with this leave management solution, you are able to better support your people by automating your leave administration process, all while minimizing your compliance risk. Our People Insights tool gives you the opportunity to proactively explore your data, which will maximize your time and make a positive impact on your people and your organization. These insights will allow you to quickly and confidently identify opportunities to drive positive change and mitigate risk in the right areas of your business. Let's begin by taking a look at our built-in benchmarking tool, which will help you understand how specific areas of your business, such as compensation, hiring and turnover rates, and overtime, compare to industry standards. To help with your compensation strategy, you can use our compensation benchmarking tool, which will allow you to compare your compensation to global averages. This report shows you what your average monthly compensation is for each job within your organization, and it compares it to global averages for companies of similar size, region, and vertical. You can also interact with this data a little bit more by accessing the jobs themselves. Let's use the associate job in this example. Across the top of the job, there is a Show Benchmarking option, which brings up our interactive comparison tool. Here you can see where your average compensation for this job currently falls against the global averages. But we can also make adjustments to this as well. So for example, we can change company size, vertical, or region. So as you can see, this is a great tool to provide you with better insights into your compensation planning to make sure that you are offering fair compensation to your employees by being in line with global standards. Now, within the interactive benchmarking tool, you can also get insights into a staffing summary to see where your hiring rates and turnover rates fall against the global averages as well. You can also make adjustments to these filters if you would like to look at a different data set. So if you have a higher than average turnover rate, this might prompt strategic discussions on how to reduce employee turnover. This solution also allows you to pay more attention to employee overtime, which in turn can help reduce your labor costs. As you can see, you are able to get insights into the average overtime worked for each job within your organization and compare that to similar companies. And again, you can adjust the filters within this report to better compare your data. And finally, this benchmarking tool also allows you to better understand the investment that you are making into your employees through training hours. As you can see, you are able to get insights into the average training hours accumulated by employees within this job classification, and you can compare that to similar jobs on a more global scale. Now, within the People Analytics tool, you are able to take a deeper dive into your reporting in a new way. On the time dashboard, we are displaying metrics to help with understanding labor and overtime costs, but you can take a deeper dive into these analytics using our guided analysis tool. So in the upper right-hand corner of this report, you will notice this orange icon that opens our guided analysis assistant. This tool will help assist in the analysis of your data. As you can see, this assistant will help you easily gather metrics to get better insights into your overtime across different cost centers or managers. You can also get a breakdown of how work time is being distributed by demographics, etc. So let's take a look at an example. So first, we will need to choose the cost center that we will be evaluating. Then, in this case, we are going to be reviewing our weekly overtime hours and our regular hours. And finally, we can establish the date range that we will be evaluating. So in this case, let's look at last month's data. And once you're ready, you can click on the Assist Me button, and this will bring up our Insights Explorer results. So as you can see, you are able to get a better handle on how work time is distributed by employee demographics based on the filters that we selected. Here we can see the regular hours and the overtime hours are being broken down by ethnicity and age. We can also expand this report to include gender as well. And then at the bottom of this report, the system has created additional charts to better visualize these demographics. And these charts can also be added to your dashboard for quick access. We can also use this guided analysis tool within the Employee Information Report. As you can see, this assistant is asking a series of questions, which will allow you to get deeper insights into your pay breakdown across different demographics, which will help you better understand pay equity and diversity within your organization. Let's just take a look at the first question here. What is the pay breakdown for my company? So first, we will need to choose the cost center that we will be evaluating. And then let's show our employees by their full name. We'll show all employee types and all pay types. And then we can click on the Assist Me button. And once again, this is going to bring up our Insights Explorer results. And in this case, we can see our average salary based upon gender and ethnicity, which will allow you to get a better understanding of pay equity across your organization. When using the guided analysis tool, you can create different charts and metrics which can be added to your dashboard. So as you can see on this dashboard, you can have insights into your team's diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging efforts. You will be able to visually understand pay equity across your organization, along with understanding the overall company dynamic when it comes to ethnicity, gender, age, etc. Now, with this people analytics tool, you will also be able to get deeper reporting insights. So here on the benefits dashboard, you will notice that I have a KPI chart to provide visibility into the employee census data for my different benefit plans. This chart was created using our Insights Explorer reporting tool. So let's dive into this report to take a look. Now here in the upper right-hand corner of this report is an Insights Explorer icon, which will allow you to create a pivot chart using the data collected within this report. So this will bring up a tool that will allow you to build your own pivot tables and create your own charts to better analyze your data. And by clicking here on the edit icon, you will be able to configure your pivot table. And then once you have your data ready to go, you can start building your charts. So here we have a few additional chart types that are not available with our standard reporting engine, such as the KPI chart that I created to give a visual representation of the total number of employees enrolled in each benefit plan. Now, this deeper level reporting is available for any report within the database, so you can dive into any of your data for better visibility.